All right. We're gonna roll right into, we've got a fair amount to go through, so we are gonna
The best part now.
get, well, yeah, you guys' favorite part, obviously.
I know those guys bored you all out, so just wake up now.
We're
And
here to wake you up. Okay, quickly, we're gonna go through the calendar. This is mostly the same as last week. We have team meeting right now. Tomorrow, we have Capra call, and then at 10:30 at PAR is a Peoria Housing Authority class, training, meeting, whatever you'd like to call that. Tomorrow night, from 5 to 7 is the Mira installation. Minu is being installed as our president, so please, 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 please try to get to the installation tomorrow, 5 to 7. Next week, all the normal things, 11:30 to 1:30 at PAR is their chili cook-off. 1 PM is the tech workshop next Thursday.
that's also first step to bold, by the way.
That is also first step to bold. And then next Friday from 9 to 4 is business planning clinic right here in the room we're in. And on the 25th, PAR is having a grants and special financing class, and you've got a ton of CE offered at Mira on the 31st, and that also goes over onto the 1st, but this is only an October calendar. Business planning clinic, I'm gonna keep going. I think we've talked enough about business planning clinic. We did send out an invite, so please RSVP because we do provide lunch that day, so we really need a head count for lunch. Our Christmas party is December 9th. I still did not change the time. It's 5:30 to 9. We'll get evites out for that, so don't have to do anything with that right now. Just put it on your calendar and make sure you've got that night blocked. Here's the graphic you guys were asking about. I'll get this out to you guys after, but this is the schedule for Bold, so I'll make sure you guys have this after team meeting. License renewal, reminder, just, I want to make sure, we're going to say this every week, probably until April. Make sure you are working on your CE, whether you just need your 12 hours or you need your 45. Okay, Tracy. This is kind of just Tracy and I's reminder of the things that we wanted to talk about. Tracy, do you want to start with unauthorized entry?
Yeah. So we had a managing broker moment at PAR, and it was brought to our attention that there have been a couple agents, one in our area, who was hit with a $2,500 unauthorized entry fee because they entered the home 4 minutes before their time slot. So please be very careful to get permission if you get to a showing early. I know we're getting to a point where we may actually be showing 2 and 3 houses at a time, where we've been used to just showing 1. So you just have to watch your clocks really good, make sure that you are not on the property. Another thing that's been brought up is staying at the property too long. So sometimes these appointments are only a half hour, 45 minutes. You're still standing there talking to your clients, 10 minutes after. You can also be in trouble for that as well. So it's not just a $2,500 fine. It's also that your license is disciplined at that point in time. So we all know that that shows up on IDFPR, something that we do not want. So that's just my warning there. And then feedback. There was just a lot of managing brokers complaining that we're having a hard time getting feedback. I think if you had to ask me, it's because these houses have been going pending so quickly. I know I've gotten really slack on my feedback because they're already sold by the time I think about it. And so it's like, who cares really about what I have to say when the property is already sold? We're starting to get to a point where now the houses are sitting a little longer. People really could use some actual feedback, some professionalism. Just keep in mind, like when you have sellers, they really want to know, what do people think of their house? So try to keep that in mind as you are showing houses, to make sure we get a little bit more mindful of giving some actual good feedback that the agent can use with their sellers. C2EX, if you don't know what that is, let me know. But we are trying to get as many people to raise the bar as possible. It really is. I just finished it myself last month. It's a good kind of reminder of professionalism and just, kind of raising the bar as far as how you're viewed in the public. Surveillance. What were we going to talk about?
This came up in one of my managing broker. We're revising our listing contract right now, and this came up for us last week. Now that showings are taking a little longer and people are not in and out of the house so fast, that we're noticing more and more people talking in the house. So a reminder, you need to have a conversation with your sellers, whether they have baby monitors, Ring doorbells, security systems, that has to be disclosed. It is illegal to record someone's voice without disclosure. So as managing brokers, we decided, obviously you need to put it into the MLS, but I would post it somewhere in the house. A Ring doorbell is very obvious. So hopefully you guys are rehearsed at when you take a buyer through, if there's a Ring doorbell, tell your buyers like, hey, there's a good chance everybody can hear us. So let's talk afterwards. But baby monitors and things inside the house are not always as obvious. So you need to post it somewhere in the house. If you even just put a sign on the kitchen island or something on the mantle or something that's visible to somebody that says there's a recording device in this house, those fines are very hefty as well. So you can have video recording. I didn't realize this, but it is not illegal to record someone in a video, but as soon as there is audio, you have to disclose that. So if there is any type of surveillance system in the house, just make sure that you have that conversation at the time of listing, you disclose it, and then have those conversations with your buyers. It is going to show up in our new listing contract for Mira, but it doesn't, it just is the state disclosure. It doesn't explain that there are serious repercussions for recording someone without their knowledge. That is not a license law violation. That is just a law violation. So that's one thing. And then we're going to go through the team policy. We're going to run through stats and celebrations, and then we're going to circle back to the team policy. Tracy, did you have anything else?
No, I don't think so. I think that's it.
Okay.
Tracy, I have a question for you. So the complaint came from the listing agent that the agent went in the house 4 minutes early?
That is what so the person who talked to us about it was the managing broker of that brokerage where it happened. And that was his thought, is that the listing agent turned him in. It can be a seller though as well. So either a seller or a listing agent can turn him in for unauthorized access.
That's like 4 minutes before your time.
We were all very shocked and very kind of like everyone said, is there no grace? Like, what's going on? Unfortunately, this is not something that's handled by the associations. It is the state of Illinois. And we did talk to someone from the grievance committee, and the way it's presented to them is they entered at a time that was not their appointment time. Is that a violation? So there's just not even a 1 minute grace, because the truth is they entered at a time that was not their appointed time, even though it was just a few minutes before.
So the fine came from the state?
It was, yes.
And that's what makes the mark on your record, is the fine is coming through the state. So as you guys remember, when you onboard, you have to say whether there's ever been any disciplinary action against your license. That person will now answer yes. Like that is a mark on your license at the state level.
So we should all synchronize our watches, right? You can't be 4 minutes off.
It's not about synchronizing. It's about, I mean, this is now going
I know.
way 1 minute, 2 minute thing. It's not like we are entering the house half an hour before.
Right.
I mean, you see the seller leaving the driveway and your appointment is in next 2 minutes, 3 minutes, you go ahead and open the door. But this is it's awakening, we have
So
to.
what I'm gonna do, and I would suggest the same as, I'm gonna set my appointment time at least 5 minutes prior to when I tell my client I'm gonna meet them there. So if I have an appointment at 1 o'clock, I'll set it for 12:55. That way, if I pull up and they're there already, we can walk up at 12:55 and enter the house, and we're technically allowed to be there. They don't really need to know that I set it for 5 minutes ahead. So it's kind of an idea that you can do just to kind of watch yourself and make sure.
Thank you. We really appreciate this, bringing it up here.
So I had something like a month ago, and it's common sense, but like the unauthorized entry. Also, don't leave your clients there. So my clients left and then the dad stayed after and was talking with my buyer's best friend. And they're just having a good old time having a conversation. And I'm sitting in my vehicle waiting. And they were just like, oh, go ahead. And I'm like, no. And then they continued to talk and then realized, and he came up and he said, oh, you can go ahead and go. We're just going to talk. And I said, I can't leave you at the property. So just, I think sometimes we just go and assume they're leaving, but make sure they leave first. And then you need to be the last one left.
What are the thoughts on same schedule for the, well, you know, you're not gonna make, well, considering all this, I'm not for us. So you schedule 30-35 minutes and you show up at 12:15. What are the thoughts on showing up late?
If you schedule it from 12 to 12:30 and you show up at 12:15, you have access to the house from 12 to 12:30. You just now have a 15-minute showing.
Okay.
You can't stay till 12:45. Not unless you reschedule it through showing time and get approval to be there for 30 minutes, starting at 12:15. Yep. Yeah. Stacy's going home and going to bed. All right. Let's celebrate September. We had 3 agents join us in September, Brenda, Zach, and Emma. Zach joined the Mathis Home Strategies team and Emma joined Tucker Home Marketing. Brenda is part of the Peoria market. So all 3 of these agents serve in PAR. Welcome. And as part of that, Ryan added to his downline. So congratulations to Ryan, not in July, in September. You can do anniversaries.
The old man shows up first with 13 years, Seth Goulart. Amber's been here 5. Congratulations, Amber.
And he didn't call you old.
Cake for you. No, 5 years is young still. Bruce Thacker. Who knows Bruce Thacker? And Max, congratulations, 1-year anniversary this month. That's man, time flies.
Exciting, I know. That's when I saw Max has been here a year, I'm like, man.
That cake always looks so good, but I've never seen it in this office once.
Yeah, thanks, Canva.
Revolution Cares.
Okay, I gotta celebrate something. I had to make the font smaller on these because this is the most donations, the most people that have donated in a month since we started recognizing this. So that was really exciting. I got to make the font a little bit smaller. So there is $8,701.76 in Revolution Cares. Revolution Cares is an account that we use to help our agents in a time of need. So whether that is something from a medical tragedy or something with their house or just an unexpected financial hardship that we're able to help and relieve a little bit of that. We use this money for that. You guys can always come to BJ or Adam or myself if you hear of a financial hardship that we can help
Or
with.
have one.
Or if you have one yourself. This is donated from your commission checks. So if you want to start donating to Revolution Cares, all you have to do is email Adam and say, take $5, $10, whatever out of each check, and he will do that. So the list of people here, these are the agents that have started doing that. Some have done it for a very long time. Some just started, but this added up to $485 just last month. We closed 123 units and 48 of those units had donations on them. So it's been fun. That number's been growing slowly but surely over the last few months. So thank you to everybody that gives to that. Want to do this?
Yeah, profit share. You can see our September profit share was $8,363. So not overall a bad month. It's not the best month we've ever had, but for September, that's a good deal. Year to date, we're at $65,944. That's for this office only. That's what the owners agree to give back to the agents that help grow the company. And of course, if you're a capper, you don't donate to profit share anymore, so.
We had 4 cappers this month. Minu and Nathan and Amy, I think, capped in a couple of the fastest times. They were both right around a month. I think Nathan and Amy were just over 30 days. Minu was just under 30 days. So Adam's very disappointed that for the next 11 months, neither of you will be participating in profit share, but Brianna also capped. Brianna, if you don't know, is expecting a baby in, I think, the next 4 weeks, 3 or 4 weeks. So she capped just in time to sell a few houses on maternity leave and have her third baby. All right, top producers for September. These are all of our agents and teams that closed over $1 million in volume. The Coulard Group closed 3.8 million. BJ's team closed almost 1.7. Minu 1.6. Keisha closed almost 1.6. Feast Homes 1.5. Melissa Stevenson's team 1.4. Tucker Home Marketing 1.4. Scott Marketing Team 1.3, and the Dice team right at $1 million. Congratulations to our top producers. We also have unit producers. So these are all of the agents or teams that closed 5 or more units. The Coulard Group closed 12 units. Melissa Stevenson's team and Tucker Home Marketing each closed 9. Feast Homes and Mathis Home Strategies closed 7. Scott Marketing Team closed 6. Minu and BJ's team each closed 5. Good job, BJ. You can do this.
I feel like that karate guy.
Okay, first, no, you can do this.
Good,
part, but I
no,
wanna do
please,
this.
by all means, go ahead.
Okay, listing leaders. So we've started putting our goal over on the left-hand side. So our goal is 67 listings per month. We know that that's going to get us to the market center goals that we set at the beginning of the year. We actually took 82 listings last month, which we had a great listing month. They don't feed over into our KW reports. When we do the lore, you're going to see these look a little bit different. I'm working on that, but this came straight from the MLS, so I know that this is accurate. So we took 82 listings last month. 13 of those were Ryan Tucker's. I don't know if he's still on the call, but how the heck did you take 13 listings last month? Is he still on the call?
Yeah, he's sitting right there, all laid back, chill. Yeah, I got 13.
Just making calls, believe it or not. Consistency and lead genning, really. Using Facebook a lot as well. Marketplace for sale by owners are getting tired. They're definitely getting tired. I actually had one call me the other day. I never even spoke to him. He just said, "Hey, ran across your name. Somebody has sold a house in this town X amount of time ago." It was first time in a long time that a for sale by owner said, "Hey, I'm done," and actually looked for an agent. So it's a weird market.
Yep. It's awesome though, right? Shows that activities pay off. 13 listings, that's a big month. Coulard, Snyder, and Trisha both show up with 6 listings. Scott Marketing Team, Mathis Home Strategies, and the Dice is with 4. Cornejo Kerfoot, Chad Evans, Chrissy Hamilton, Jewett Homes, and Lori Strode all show up with 3. So good listing months. We're gonna have to change our goal if it's 82. I don't know if you know this, right? I mean, I don't know what you guys' reaction when you see this, and this will, I promise, lead into this conversation a little bit. When Megan calls me and goes, "Hey, this is awesome. We took 82 listings." My antennas go up. No, I mean, right. So call me. I am a skeptic if you look at my KPA. So the optimist would say, "Hey, all right, we're awesome." The skeptic says, "Wait a minute, what's wrong?" Right? Does that mean the market has changed and all of a sudden it's easy to get 82? Or does that mean that, hey, Jeff Reedy is actually as awesome as we think he is, and he's gone out there and just busted his butt? And that's obviously, we're proving that with Ryan Tucker here. Not just Ryan, but Max and Trisha, right? Even all of those add in there. But those are the things that we want to start looking at. So part of what I'm doing now is using that kind of framework and those kind of questions that I create and bring that into the language of real estate. When you glance at this page, I want you to remember that we use what we call pinks and greens, right? So anything that's painted pink means it's not ideal. Now, ideal for us, to be fair, is growth of 10% or more. So if it represents less than 10% growth, we're shading it pink. We'll go through these in a little more detail because there's a whole lot of pink on this page.
So what we're gonna do, we're gonna look at these this week, and then next week we're gonna get into a little bit more detail on, we're gonna break down price ranges a little bit, days on market, showings per listing, and we're gonna look at more of the activity side. This is a little bit more of a results conversation. Obviously, closed units and closed volume, those are lag indicators of what the market's doing. So we're gonna start looking at some lead indicators next week. But we look at these 8 categories that you see on the left-hand side of each of these graphs. For anybody that hasn't looked at this before, Mira is over on the top right quadrant, PAR is on the bottom right quadrant. We look at what's going on in each of the associations to compare the markets to each other, and then on the left side to compare us to the market. So our goal, especially in a market like this, where we may not be seeing 10% growth in every category, we at least want to know that we are outpacing the market. We don't ever want our business to follow the market, because we know when the market slows down, then our business is going to slow down. So our goal is to at least always outpace the market. So if you look at this in your own business, I pull this all from our multi-year trend report. So you can go to mykw.kw.com. You can pull your multi-year trend report and see exactly how you compare in all of these categories. So let's start in closed units and closed volume. You can see that Mira is down 23% month over month, pretty much the same year to date in units, down 16% in volume. If you go down to PAR, closed units are down 11 and 14%. Closed volume up a little bit, so we can see that price point must have gone up a little bit in the month of September versus last September, but still down 8% for the year. So go over to us and look at what we did. We were down 15% month over month and down 6% for the year. In units, our volume is down 14%, 7% for the year. So we did see more of a slowdown in September than we have in our year-to-date numbers. Hopefully, as we saw all those listings taken, hopefully we see our contracts written next month increase, and then 60 days from now, we'll see our closed units perform better. Hopefully, that's why we watch our listings taken numbers.
Yeah, look at these listings taken, 2 numbers though, for KW, right? We're down 2% for the month, down 8% for the year, up 31% listings taken volume. That means we either took a $4 million listing, or I don't know what the anomaly was in there, but something changed that.
And this is where I say, you look at these numbers and it shows we took 62 listings this month. We actually took 82. There's something, when you go to your MyKW reports, your reports all run through whatever information we give Adam. Something is feeding weird from our multi-year trend report at the office. So hopefully that's fixed by next month, but I at least wanted you to see the trend. We're about on pace from what we did last year this month. So I kept these numbers the same just so that you could see units wise. We're close to on pace to where we were.
Which is really interesting, right?
last year.
Because when you go look at Mira and PAR now, so Mira and listings taken, right? We're down 18% for the year and down 10% in volume. We're doing significantly better than Mira. You look at PAR, down 15% and down 12%. We're doing significantly better than what's in PAR. So this is are we just a cork in the water, just following? Are we just rising with the tide? But no, we're doing something different. We do see our performance is better than what's showing in the market.
One thing that was interesting to me, look how far down listings taken are. Listings taken, units and volume are down 32% month over month in Mira, 17 and 18% in PAR. Look at our listing leaders. Look how heavy we are in Peoria. You Bloomington agents can feel that those listings taken were down last month. So that was kind of validation to me that that we felt that in both of our markets, consistent with what the numbers said.
Listings sold. Percentages of our listings that we take that are sold, right? But how many listings have we sold? Down 12% month over month and 13% year to date. So that's consistent. Down only 5% versus down 12% on listings sold volume year to date. So maybe some improvement there. I don't know that a month over month I don't know that makes that much difference. When you look at listings sold compared to the markets, again, we're outperforming by 8 in this 5 and 8% range consistently between Mira and PAR. So again, good numbers. Contracts written, how are we doing with buyers? This is a little different story, right? We're down 17% month over month versus 7% year to date. So that's a significant drop on both those and the volume. I don't know why. We show a big drop in buyers month over month there. That is not true in Mira and PAR. So, well, at least in Mira. So Mira, the drop in buyers was far less. So we're underperforming. And then in PAR, again, a really dramatic drop in buyers in PAR. I don't know if you guys are feeling that or if that's, again,
Hopefully that number improves next month because we saw quite a few listings taken in PAR. So hopefully that number improves next month as the inventory has increased. That's what starts to indicate what our buyer demand is doing. If we see that we took all these listings and our contracts written percentages don't follow that, we're going to start seeing an increase in the number of listings on the market, an increase in days on market, an increase in showings per listing. So,
and I think
We're
that's
watching all
what's
that.
interesting about this. When you look at this and you say, we took a whole bunch of new listings and this buyer activity appears to be falling, is this going to set the stage for a lot more inventory coming in this fourth quarter, potentially? So what are the warnings? What are the conversations we need to be having with our sellers as that happens? Is that, hey, there are some indications that we're going to build inventory over the next 3 months. What does that mean to your pricing strategy? What does that mean to your marketing strategies? If you're not on top of those and you're not changing them, we're going to get beat. You start to see these price reductions, right? This is also an indication of, yeah, we're going to see some price reductions because this inventory is going to grow.
okay, just for time purposes, I want to get through one more thing today. The reason I wanted to do stats and then go through a team policy was because there's a lot of opportunity in the market for those of you that are looking to grow teams. I've had quite a few conversations with you guys over the last weeks and months about the possibility of growing a team, some of you about the possibility of joining a team. And so in this market, as anytime there's a market shift, there's some uncertainty. Couple that with a renewal year, an election year, all kinds of things. There are going to be agents that are struggling in this market that might be interested in a team. And hopefully some of our more productive agents are feeling the opportunity and growing a team. That being said, we do have a team policy that both gives you some opportunity to, we hope, pocket more of your money and pay less of it to Adam. And we also have some rules that we have to follow as we do that. So I just want to make sure everybody was aware of it. This is just a good time to kind of go over that. I will email out this entire policy. But I wanted to go over one part of it because we acknowledge that there are, first and foremost, there are a lot of relationships among each of you in this office. That's part of our culture. That's part of who we are. And so we acknowledge that in a hard market, there might be an agent within this office that would like to join a team within this office. In that, we have, if that happens, we go from one cap to a different cap. So all of our team members are at half caps. So if you are a full cap and you decide to join a team, that takes the company dollar from $19,000 to $9,500. Imagine if all 125 of you decided to all start joining teams, what would happen to the profitability of the market center? What would happen to profit share? And so in order to protect the profitability of the market center and also prevent agents from, in a time of crisis, trying to cut expenses and join what Keller Williams tends to call a glob, a group of agents that just share a credit card. We want to ensure that you guys are thinking through teams. Any of you that have had teams have probably had somebody leave your team in a less than ideal way. Getting into business with each other is really easy. Getting out of business with each other is not so easy. So we put some of these things in place to make sure that people aren't jumping on and off teams for the wrong reasons, and also to protect the profitability and profit share of the market center. So that being said, if you are recruiting existing Keller Williams Revolution agents to a team, go down to, well, this is the next one. This is basically what I just explained. Okay. When an existing Market Center associate joins a team, there's a 1 cap year waiting period from the documented submission of a fully executed team agreement. Reminder, Adam cannot pay out team members without a signed team agreement, because what happens is everybody gets their checks, and then both the Rainmaker and the team member email Adam privately and say, I thought this was a this split, and I thought this was a that split. And so we have to have something in writing to go back to, just so that we're not in the hot seat of trying to figure out from text messages and emails, and this was my sphere, and this was my sphere, and this was this lead or that lead. We just need to have all that in writing so that if there ever is an issue, it's hopefully a little bit more transparent to resolve. But there is a 1 cap year waiting period, meaning if BJ wanted to join my team today and he is a March reset, he will reset at a $19,000 cap in March, and he will ride out that $19,000 cap all of March, and in March of 2025, he will reduce to a team cap. You guys can decide as you're adding team members to your team, if maybe I decide, I think BJ is such an awesome agent, I'm gonna take half of that cap on so that his gets reduced right away. That is totally up to you guys. If BJ keeps his full cap for that year, that's fine. If you decide to take half of it and reduce his right away, that's fine. We just have to have that in writing. The reason is, a lot of times what happens is somebody comes up on their cap year and goes, or somebody either comes up on their reset or they hit that $9,500 point, and then they go, oh, I know I'm at 9,500. I'm just going to jump on a team so that I'm capped. And then what happens is they impulsively jump on a team, and then nobody thought it through, and we end up with more issues that cost both sides time and money. So this kind of forces an incubation and thought period between both parties to make sure that it's a win-win for everybody involved. If that person has been licensed less than 12 months or has not had at least 1 transaction in the last 12 months, that cap waiting period is waived. The ALC added that this year for 2 reasons. One, a lot of times when I am interviewing new agents, I tell them, you don't have to come in on a team. If you would like to, you can. If you want to come in and meet the teams and get your feet wet and then join a team, you can. So I encourage them to talk to teams, but I don't force them on a team. So we also don't want to penalize them if they get in and they decide that a team is a better fit. So if they've been in the business less than 12 months, they can go onto a team without that. Or if they have been licensed for however long and have not had at least 1 transaction in the last 12 months, then we acknowledge that at some point this is not a business worth owning. And hopefully a team gives them the support, the structure, the motivation, the things that they need to succeed. The team cap policy will not apply to company dollars produced by team members who are part of the KW Revolution Market Center or affiliated business centers prior to joining a team. We're going to talk about what the team cap policy is. The team cap policy is, there is a maximum of $66,500 that you guys would pay as a team to the Market Center. So I'm going to skate through this just because of time, but this is, the team cap is equal to 3.5 caps. On average, you need about 7 to 8 productive agents on your team to hit that 66.5 in company dollar. When you hit that point, you can opt into the team cap. If you're thinking about it, come meet with Adam or I, and we'll talk you through this. But you can opt into a team cap where once you hit 66.5 as a group, you're capped, and we can talk through what the options are after that. The previous part of this policy just states that if somebody joins your team and they have already paid $5,500 in company dollar as an individual agent, and then they join your team, that $5,500 that they paid as an individual agent does not apply toward your team cap because of that cap year waiting period. It has to be company dollar paid in as they were part of your team. The goal with this team cap is that as agents that want to grow a really big business, you have the opportunity to cap with the Market Center and take any of that additional money and pour it back into your team in whichever way you believe grows your productivity. So it's kind of the Market Center's way of taking the piece that we need to keep the lights on and the doors open and give the rest back to you guys so that you have the autonomy to make decisions in your business. Okay, I know I went through this really fast, but I wanted to go through that cap year waiting period because I know that there's been some talk of people going on to Teams and I don't want to surprise anybody. So if you have any questions or want to go through this, reach out to me or Adam. We're happy to talk you through it. I'm going to email out a full copy of our team agreement so that anybody can look at it that would like to. And
Yeah, I think something else important to bring up in this is the ALC. So as we get to building the ALC for this next year, Megan has done an amazing job over the last year redoing these policies with the ALC. And the truth is, we've done about 10% of what needs to be done. So more and more of this comes up. If you despise this policy and you just don't think it's fair and you don't whatever, this is a conversation for the ALC.
Yeah.
And that's the best place. You are the agents that create these policies. We are the agents that, this is what makes this company built by agents and for agents, right? So we want to be sure that we honor that and make sure that we're doing it.
Yeah.
The way that
And the
maximizes.
ALC has a fair amount. This policy comes up every year. It's been in place for almost 3 years. And this comes up every year and as the ALC changes and we go through it and talk through why this exists. I've been here, it'll be 5 years in December. And I've seen people come on and off teams a lot. And in a time of a shifting market, people get scared. And when money's tight, people make decisions that aren't always out of good, sound thought.
Yep.
And it ends up being hard for both parties. So our goal in this is to not make the decision financial. If you believe that someone is a good culture fit for your team and someone you have the ability to impact their business and their
When you
life.
take the financial incentive out of it, all of a sudden you have to have a pretty sound business plan that says this is why this is going to be a good idea. And so it definitely makes that a sound policy.
Yeah. So, any thoughts, questions? I know I went through that fast. We didn't plan on having 2 speakers 24 hours ago. So, but I wanted to get this out. Like I said, I'll send out a hard copy after team meeting. Okay, wants and needs. Eddie, does someone have a listing coming up on Row? Please let me know. Thank you so much.
Good morning, this is Tom. I put a listing in PLN yesterday. It's a ranch, 2+2, two bedroom, 2-bath ranch out in Fox Creek Village. You know, the brand new ones out there are selling for $310,000. This house, I sold the guy 2 years ago. Never a smoker, never pet. I mean, it's like brand new. We're at $252,750. We'll go live next week. Just getting some things out of there and whatnot, but it's Fox Creek Village has been real popular. And then I've got a beautiful ranch on 11 acres coming in Carlock. Walkout basement, the house has all been redone completely. They just added a 22 by 24 pole barn. It is beautiful. We're going to be priced right around 800 plus or minus, probably less, 799, 795, somewhere in that ballpark.
I have a 2-story coming in Tri-Valley School District out in Brentwood subdivision, 3 bedrooms, 2.5 baths. It'll be going live next week and the price will be $264,900.
This is Jesse. We have a Eagles Landing townhome on Bluebill Way coming late tomorrow, right at $260,000. 2-story.
Jesse, text me the address, please. I have a ready buyer for that area.
I have a new listing coming, excuse me, this weekend. It's going live Friday, 5 Clagstone. It's a 4-bed, 3 full baths, 1 half bath, many updates. It'll be listed at $365,000.
It's a beautiful house.
That was Jackson. Anybody else? All right,
All right,
that's all we got for today. Have a great week, guys.
see ya.